What's going on there? Well, the industry is dying there. You're seeing some kind of atrophy from which it may or may not recover. And I think there are many causes for that.
Social media has ruined movie stars. It's taken away a lot of the mystique, right? The sort of, the air of mystery about them. And then they put everything out there on social media, and it lets you almost know too much about them. It takes away that vibe, right? And then when they get political one way or the other, I don't care which way it is. I don't care whether it's left or right. You get political on stuff one way or the other, or you get agenda heavy or just preachy about your cause or anything else. And people are like, I just want to see you blow stuff up.
I believe we're a dictatorship now, and
given who's in office and given what we're seeing happening to Black and brown communities in our country, we better get our together.
How much power does that one large company hold over what we see and hear? So are we now going to be fed content based on what that businessman's political and creative vision is? Or can art still exist within that framework? What's going to take the precedent and be the thing that drives the most? And I hope art will continue to be the driver and not politics.
I don't want to hear this from you. Like, half of you didn't go to high school. Like, what are you talking about? And I think all that stuff just ruins the smoke and mirrors of old school Hollywood and old school movies.
There's something about having heroes that are unattainable for you. That way they can stay in that magic spot. So I think we've lost magic and mystery and all these things. First of all, unless you have really studied stuff and really know about a subject fully, who the hell would want to listen to an actor or a musician talk about politics? You know what I mean? It's right. Like, are we supposed to follow this? I mean, if we are, what if they lead you down the wrong road?
I appreciate it. Look, I love that era. And I've had people recently asking me, that they'd like to hear me talk about some newer movies and stuff. And I'm not sure how new I'm willing to go, because whenever I talk about new movies, I think I've done videos on this channel about Sinners, Frankenstein, James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn. Snow White. And I think one other movie, I can't remember. Over the whole time I've had this channel, I've done about 5 new movies. And they don't do that well on the channel, and they just breed so much negativity in the comments. Because if you offer any critique at all, you're a hater. And if you overpraise it, then you're a simp, and you're paid off. And when I did a 40-minute review on Sinners and told people exactly how much I loved about it, what I enjoyed, me and Logan went and watched it, all this stuff. But then I gave fair critiques as a filmmaker. I mean, I used to write online for an online publication, critiquing films. That's what I did. And I mean, I got called every name in the book, and I'm like, you're like, just say you hate the movie. I'm like, I said 15 times I like the movie. I bought the movie immediately. But that doesn't mean that it's perfect. I mean, I look at my own movies and rip them to shreds. So, I don't know. I don't know about new movies on the channel. People have more of a fondness and a nostalgia for old movies. It's easier to talk about them. And the fans are voicing their opinions. I mean, I can offer you guys, I'm not doing a video on it, but I can offer you my thoughts on The Bride. I tend to agree that The Bride is a movie that feels like it was frozen in carbonite back in about 2016, 2017, and then thawed out today. It feels like a relic. It does. I read that, and it feels like a relic of a different time of sensibilities, and people are tired of movies like that. And then the movie is just crazy and all over the place. Couldn't finish it. I think people are in the flop of Snow White and all these other movies that flopped. I mean, even One Battle After Another completely flopped. So I think people, whereas F1, little F1 that had almost no marketing budget behind it or anything else, made more money than James Gunn's Superman did at the box office. It made like $691 million. It made like 4 times its budget back at the box office alone. I think people just want entertaining movies again. Yeah, I don't know. Like Leo, like that movie, I can't, like I couldn't make it through that movie. So I can't give them a nod on that, because to me, that movie was just made to put someone's agenda into a movie. And I don't want to watch movies like that anymore. I don't care whose agenda it is. So I couldn't make it through the movie with him. Sinners, at least I watched. I probably enjoyed Brad Pitt, and I don't even know the guy who co-starred with him in that movie, F1. I probably enjoyed them better than most performances I saw this year. Yeah, I don't like the Oscar bait stuff. Yeah, the stuff feels like it's deliberately trying to get an Oscar and be like some little artsy fartsy edge lord or push an agenda that they think will get them in the Oscars, and it looks obvious to me. I don't like that. F1 and Frankenstein, I high recommend. That they come from different eras of filmmaking. F1 might as well have been made in 1993. Like it might as well have been made then. Oh, I thought Sinners was good. I enjoyed Sinners. My son loved Sinners. But I couldn't help but feel like I was watching just a different version of From Dusk Till Dawn. Like From Dusk Till Dawn meets Double Impact. That's what I felt like I was watching. So I didn't see anything like groundbreakingly original in it, except for the part that felt like a music video, but that was different. Sinners was your pick, J Money. I liked Sinners. I felt that I had a couple of problems. I don't have a problem with Michael B. Jordan winning. I had a problem with the best original screenplay and the cinematography. The problem is so much of that cinematography in Sinners is CGI. The backgrounds, the skies, even the trains when they're in the train station, all that is digitally put in. None of that is there. So I don't think that deserves cinematography. That stuff wasn't there. You didn't light it. You didn't do anything to it. You had them do it in post. So I don't think that deserves that. And original screenplay, it's got too many similarities to and even Coogler said, he was inspired by From Dusk Till Dawn. It's too similar to that to give it an original screenplay, in my opinion. I didn't watch any of it either. I haven't watched the Oscars in a decade. But yeah, here, Richard, it's trash. And they gave the Oscar for Best Picture to a movie that nobody saw. It's going to lose like $180 million. I don't know. I can't. I would love to agree with you. But the proof doesn't bear it out. And the fact that they go to the 80s and 90s and the 70s to rehash movies constantly kind of works against that statement. But they can't do them right because they try to do 80s movies with certain sensibilities or guidelines of today, and then that doesn't work because 70s and 80s and 90s movies, they didn't care about offending anyone. So you take out what they are and then they flop. But they keep going back to the well on those because they don't have anything today. And most of the iconic movies, it's a test, man. Go and ask 100 people on the street if they've heard of Jaws. And then go ask 100 people if they've heard of The Bride. Go ask 100 people if they've heard of Indiana Jones, and then go ask 100 people if they have heard of, I don't know, whatever movie you want to pick from the last 10 years. It's going to stand out. That's it. Hey, listen, I can watch that so much easier and just enjoy myself and not like be reminded of anything in the world that's going wrong or stressing me out or anything like that. I can go on an adventure for that time frame, that 94 minutes, whatever it is, and leave this world behind and go into that world and have fun. I don't want to be constantly reminded of like news headlines and worldly arguments and reality and stuff like that. That's what I go to movies for, is to get the hell away from all that. Movies are supposed to be the toy aisle of life. Like they are the candy store of life. Don't bring empty vitamins in here. I don't want them. There's a place for me to take my vitamins. Movies designed for you to watch, whether they are woke, left, right, or center. Movies designing movies to watch on your phone, or like to watch and listen to while you're scrolling your phone. I mean, Matt Damon is out there banging the drum how that's got to stop. And so are a lot of other people. That's just, it's horrific. It's horrific. It's ruining stuff. You can't. There is social media and the news over the last 10 years plus has ruined discourse. You can't have a conversation and say this in Sinners was incredible, the way they did this and the way they did that, but the way they did this was really derivative and it was a ripoff and they shouldn't have done CGI here, but man, I love this, but this over here. You can't have a discussion like that anymore. It has to be, everybody has to put everybody in one box or the other. They want to label everybody everything. Everybody wants to go by labels and everything's got to fit in the boxes. And that's not what it's supposed to be about. We're supposed to discuss these. That's how they come alive. I do too. I feel like they don't care about money anymore. They'll prop up a movie that appeals to ideologues and not give a damn about the masses. That's pretty clear. That's pretty clear, because movies that don't get supported by audiences, they just seem to love them even more. I can't figure that out, man. They definitely don't. People don't enjoy the process, and most people don't know how. They don't know how. So, I heard a story from about the chick that directed The Eternals. She had only done like that independent movie before that. She had never really done anything else. And they gave her all this money and hired her to do The Eternals. It's a very different kind of movie. And apparently she didn't even know what shooting coverage meant. And they put her in charge of a giant action movie. Like, you need people who know how to do that love that kind of thing. Just because you're really good at making these little small art house movies and like, you know, human, like slow dramas doesn't mean that you can do a giant ensemble Marvel action comic book film. Like, how do you make it that far and not know what shooting coverage on action means? That's it. And I got to tell y'all, coming up over the next week or so, I have a video on movies that we all watched too young, basically, from that time period. I'm not going to say the exact title of it. And there's everything from comedy to horror to everything. And people just didn't get offended by it. But see, those movies, I think the difference is they didn't portray something out here to make a statement about it one way or the other. They just said, this is the nature of like how college boys and girls are, or this is the nature of how this is. Let's laugh at this. Let's see that because everybody can relate to it and it's real. And so that makes it funny and we can poke fun of ourselves and all this kind of stuff and not take it too seriously. And it's here for entertainment without any strings attached to the entertainment. There is no, this is the entertainment, but we're lecturing you about it. They didn't do that. I agree with this. And see, now it's a perfect example. Verhoeven was the master of taking on something in satirical form, but blending it so seamlessly with entertainment that if you weren't looking for it, you didn't pay attention to it. You saw like, would you like to know more? And you saw, I buy that for $1 and all this kind of stuff, but you could watch it on the surface and not get into any of that and just be entertained. Becca says, to me, a good movie will take you away on a trip away from the stress and the heaviness of life, and you reset everything for a few hours. And if it's really great, yes. I used to go to the movies by myself during the day to decompress, to get away. And I would imagine to myself, and I know this sounds deep and weird and all this kind of stuff, but I would imagine when the door closed behind me, when I went into the theater, it blocked the whole rest of the world out. And I imagined myself going into a portal to another world. I did that since I was a kid. I was like, this is my portal to another world. And I don't want all of the crap that I see on the news and people argue about online. I don't want that intruding into that world. I go to that world to get away. But my whole life, that's how I imagined it. That door to the theater was a portal to another world. I know.